Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay, but it was an exciting game in the semifinals. Fat Chunks did come up on top, so Cyclone Spin and the boys will make it to the finals. We have a best out of 3 coming up for you. It'll be Gloopy. Is it on the screen?
Gloop.
It's Gleep, Gloop, and the Floopy Flops. That's who we're going to see. It's an amalgamation of Floopy Doo. Okay, last time. Gleep, Glop, and the Floopy Doos. It is an amalgamation of cognitive teams featuring Barracuda, Anister, Eonic, Omegatron, and Snoopy. So both cognitive sister teams are together. So we do have that. We're going to take a look at... Yeah. So we're going to see those two teams. We're going to see them pick and ban just about now. So let's take a look at that.
Do you remember the old days when Fat Chunks Assemble was the weirdest team you'd ever had to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
How times change. We're into picks and bans anyway. Gleep and the boys are going to be on the left-hand side, and they're going to ban away Raw as their first ban. And it's straight back over to Fat Chunks to choose what they're going to ban in response. This is a final. There is money on the line, even though it's for... Technically, it's just a 1 week only, but there is money involved in this, like every single week after. So then we do these. So both these teams, even though they might do something unusual, they're both coming out to try and earn some money.
Yeah, this is a $1,000 tournament, by the way. So we will see that split. Fat Chunks watch that. They watched Anderson play in the solo lane. They're going to ban out as Hercules.
Nah. We don't want to deal with that again. We saw that boulder at the end. We're not dealing with that. Take away that also means that they can put Neath in a solo lane if they so choose to, and not have to deal with Hercules causing issues for them. Giannis banned away as well by Gleep. They're looking to take that one away from Fat Chunks. They don't want to have to deal with the mobility in the mid lane that's available to him, especially on someone like Wind. Clumsy Death, though, aren't going to be in for Fat Chunks this week as well. Yep. He normally is a mid laner. Clumsy Death normally plays the mid lane, and he's very, very good at Giannis, so that's why the focus is there. I'm not sure whether that means Wind's going to be transitioned to a different role, or Clumsy's going to be in a different role this week. I'm not too sure about.
I do know that Wind can play Hunter. He can play the Hunter role. That is information that comes to us via some interesting roster swaps that never quite made it during the regular season. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to see how Fat Chunks works out. Because we have, like you said, Clumsy Death in there instead of Neek, who is instead in our chat saying, Smoke Kush.
Good job, Neek. Good job.
So he's not going to be... for whatever reason, Neek will not be playing for Fat Chunks Reassemble. And we're just going to see how it works out. Serket is the ban after 8 million years coming out from Fat Chunks. So we're going to see how that works out.
I'm not sure how the pick and ban phase goes so long. It seems like these games, they're getting even longer ban phase than usual. Or maybe it's just production being very, very slow.
First pick is probably just going to be Geb. That's very predictable. I like the Sylvanas over the Geb choice usually, but we're going to go with the Geb for Gleep Gloop and the Floopy Doos. So we'll see how that one works out for them in real time. What do you think, Fat Chunks? Are we going to see a first pick Naja or something like this? I want to see Cyclone Spin do something weird this game.
What, like Fat Chunks don't do something weird every game anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
Like... I'd like to see them play standard. That's what I'm going to call. I want to see a standard composition out of the Fat Chunks. And right now, with the hover on Nuwa and Freya, it's kind of looking that way. Which is kind of strange, I'm not used to saying they've got standard composition so far. I've not seen a Cupid pick just yet. It
is interesting. I do just want to see something weird from Cyclone Spin and the rest standard.
Like just an invisible Neath?
Yeah, Cyclone Spin does cool stuff. Cyclone Spin, I love the Naja solo that he does. I like what he can come up with, and I think it's interesting.
Like an oops?
Like an oops?
Oops confirmed, next god. Just letting you know that. Well done, production, for letting that one go. Osiris being hovered over now by Gleep. Now, Osiris has been out of the meta for a while, but I don't think he's really out of it, in all honesty. He's just been overlooked a lot. In a lot of different situations.
Anister likes Osiris, and I like Anister's Osiris. He plays it with about 80 physical power.
You okay with that?
That's it. That's all he plays it with.
Okay, he just plays physical power with them.
80 physical power. He buys penetration boots, and then he buys chin saws and witchblade. And that's it. And then
it kills people.
Goes defensive, and I love it. It's effective. It's the last game that we saw Osiris win in the SPL. Annister went that build. And again, the Anubis ban.
The Goobis bands. The Goobis bands. Very, very important to both teams that have faced off against Gleep Glop. They don't want to have to deal with the Goobis.
That's interesting. Why? So the team Barracuda, Annister, Ionico, Megatron, and Snoopy. Who really plays the Anubis?
Barra. Let's go Barra. That'd be so good.
Snoopy. You know what? It's probably Snoopy.
Yeah, it's probably.
I thought of that all by myself. It's probably Snoopy. We've seen... What have we seen besides the Vulcan? Snoopy just does weird stuff. So I think it's probably aimed at Snoopy. And so we have the Athena and the Goobis band, and Rom going to be picked up for fat chunks. So.
Oh, Rama locked in as well, so the composition is coming together nicely. It looks like it's going to be a jungle Freya then, obviously, with that being picked up. So nothing too unusual in that one. Back across the way, though, it's up to Gleep Gloop to pick again. The hovering Ymir here, which could be a jungle, I'm guessing. If they've already got Geb picked up, it's not often you'll see Geb play any other roles than the support role. And when you've got Ionic on that team, it's not really you see him on anything other than Geb if it's available. So, not a surprise there. One thing to note again, Barracuda is not playing Apollo.
Again?
Told you. This is the plan. It's his secret strategy. He's going to show that he doesn't like Apollo anymore.
You know, Uller is interesting. If they go the similar route and they have Barracuda play Hunter again, remember they have 2 professional hunters on their team, so they might be able to swap it. Uller is not the character that I really consider Barracuda. Barracuda isn't aggressive in the way that Uller needs to be aggressive. Barracuda is very calculated aggressive. When he's going to get the kill, he goes ahead and he picks it up. But Uller requires you to sort of jump in 3-1 stun and just get it every time. Sort of the quintessential Zapman character right there. Interesting thought process for Barracuda. I mean, that said, Barra's not going to do poorly on any hunter. It's just not the hunter that comes to mind when I think of Barracuda.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, he's more calculated, like you said, and so it's not something you normally see him on, or you not necessarily you expect to see him on. Bastet being picked up here, the slow's going to help out against this composition. Someone like Hel with her mobility is going to be able to help shut down that. Osiris as well does have slows of his own, so Bastet with those cats early on might be able to put some pressure onto this team, especially with Ymir jungle as well, which Ymir struggles with mobility. That's his biggest issue in the whole game is his mobility. His damage is pretty good even from the jungle standpoint, but mobility is an issue, and with someone like Bastet, who's very mobile, with the pounce as well as those cats to slow down other targets, could pay off for them. We'll find out though if it's going to be a Bastet jungle or if it's going to be a Nemesis jungle.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what the fat chunks are going to do. It could be a Nemesis support, and why don't we get into the game and just check it out, because I don't think we have any idea what they're going to do. So as we load in the game, we're going to take a look at the individual lineups, and Cyclone Skip Band will be playing on that ROM in what looks like the solo list?
Solo?
I love it.
So we're having Hunter solo day today, it seems, coming out from some of them. So Fat Chunk's going to be playing solo.
It's a celebration of the changes over on Team Solo Mid. Game Hunter, the solo laner, is playing Hunter role these days, and he's famous for playing Hunters in the solo lane. His Apollo is really like known for being one of the few solo laners that could play a Hunter. He played Neath and Apollo at a high level in that solo lane, so everybody's just doing it. We saw
It's like NA has become EU today. Like, we saw a 3 Guardian composition earlier on in the day. Then we saw Neath solo, as well as some other crazy shenanigans in that one. And now we're seeing an Assassin support, an Assassin jungle, a Mage AD carry, a solo lane Hunter, and... Oh wait, okay, that's just Nuwa. It's just Nuwa. It's just Nuwa. She's nothing good with her, is there? Right?
So we're gonna see Samshu or Na play in the long lane with support. Not Nemesis. It's gonna be Bastet.
Bastet?
Yeah, it makes sense, Bastet, because she's got the pot. So
we're
gonna see a support Bastet. Support Bastet, solo Rom, mid Nuwa just doing her thing, and then the long lane with Freya, and then Nemesis in the jungle. That'll be pretty standard.
Kiki has 4 health potions and 3 multi-potions.
Never going back to base.
Invade on the right-hand side, though, from Anderson and Snoopy straight away, looking for the aggression in the jungle. Gonna try and steal away the blue buff. Do so with an authority after taking the mid-camps down. They could do that because Cyclone is not going to be picking up Hog on a Rom. Left side, though, same thing.
Left side, mid-camp should go to them. I mean, Kiki's looking at this blue buff. I don't know if he really wants to. He is Bastet, King of the Steel, so look for the leash coming out from Ionic, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
So, back to lane they go. New War in the middle lane, just pushing that one out. Back, checking with the solo lane. You're going to see Andinster putting the aggression onto Hurrywind a little bit here. But Snoopy and Anderson not the worst wave clear in the world for themselves. Neither is Cyclone and Hurrywind. It's going to be backwards and forwards in that one overall. But the melee heaviness from Gleep Gloop should help out. Left side, big aggression once again from these two. You can see Kiki trying to poke in and out, burning through those potions already.
It's going to be so much poke coming out from this Bastet, so you're going to see the leap behind them just like we just saw. There's a good banish coming out onto Ionic. Jump on top. That's going to help the bleed. 50% extra damage, but when those minions come up, that's going to prevent any of those pulses from hitting him any further.
So, they've bled 1 health potion out of Ionic so far. Mid lane, some trades backwards and forwards. Clumsy losing it to a Megatron on that hell so far. But that's all this lane's looking to do is pick on Ionic early on and try and get a kill. But a great axe coming out from Barracuda, going to absorb some damage. Then he body blocks, but the bleed is enough to bring him down. The last pulse was enough to pick it up.
That'll be the first blood going the way of Fat Chunk. So he's going to go ahead and do a good job. Kiki or not gets stunned out as soon as he lands. Barracuda with a heads-up play. So Barracuda could get a double kill right here if he really played it correctly. But he's going to be safe and instead just back under his tower and clear this wave so he gets all the gold. Meanwhile, right-hand side, they've left the solo lane. We now see our junglers take into the jungle.
Well, left-hand side as well, Kiki and Samshu going to back off, do their own blue buff after sealing away that one. You can see Ionic rotating around with Ymir now to catch up on experience that he lost in that lane because of the push. Also allow Barracuda to technically 2v1, so he's actually going to slowly get ahead in terms of experience in this lane if he stays here. And now Ionic's going to rotate back. Eventually, it looks like the two gruesome twosome Guardians are going to rotate through the whole jungle together, it seems, as Kiki once again goes aggressive onto Barracuda, forcing him back under his tower. Still, only that first blood on Ionic that is the difference separating these two teams.
You know, I really like to see Kiki play in this support Bastet. This is so completely different from anything we really get to see. I mean, on the side of Gleep Glop, as Snoopy sort of gets in on Kiki over here and just sort of pokes him down a little bit. On the side of Gleep Glop, it's an amalgamation of the two COG teams, but Barracuda's just playing Hunter, Ionic's just playing Geb, Omega's playing basically solo lane, you know, Anister's actually in the solo lane. It's interesting stuff, but here comes the cats as they're looking for the mid-camps.
Well, big fight going out as the cats get dropped onto a Megatron. The Frost goes onto Hurrywind, though, who's trying to pick up Omega, but Omega heals back up. There's an ultimate coming out from Ymir as well, followed by the Cataclysm to keep him trapped for the full channel of 374 damage. Samshu rotates over, looking to clean up if he can. Hurrywind survives for now. Right-hand side, engagement between Amdister, who finds the kill on Cyclone 1v1 there, and trying to get to the ultimate did Cyclone, but not in time. Solo clear for Amdister evens up the score. Right camp, so going to go to Gleep.
I love this Anister solo lane coming out as the Osiris. Not really a traditional solo laner, but Anister not really a traditional solo laner either. What I was sort of getting to is that Gleep Gloop's comp is still very... It's almost standard. Like, Hell Mid isn't going to be a thing, but Omega's a solo lane player, so he's sort of like playing a solo mid type strategy. Fat Chunks, true to their name... Well, I guess true to their motif, true to their brand, is really just Cyclone Spin playing Rom in the solo lane, and you got Kiki, their solo laner. Kiki, the complexity solo laner these days, playing like support Bastet. Yep. I love this Fat Chunks team tonight. I really do.
The Fat Chunks team right now that's available on paper here, Hyper Carries is the name. I mean, Nemesis late game is a Hyper Carry, Rama is, and so is Freya. So those gods together can do a lot of work. On the other side, only really tanking is coming out from Gligler. Big dive coming in though onto Barracuda as he was forced back from the leap already. The cats are on him as well, and there's the ultimate coming out from Samshu to secure the kill. Ymir can only watch, but the cats still have aggro, so he's not being able to pick up this kill just yet. But Ionic is now here. Cataclysm comes in, but Clumsy Death for the reach around to try and help out, but not going to find it. And now he's going to bring down that kill as well to make it 2-2. and make this an even game.
Coming around, tying up the kills on Gleep Gloop and the Fat Chunks. 2-2 read the score, and we take a look at the gold. Just barely about 700, so not a real lead. Just starting to coalesce here. Fat Chunks really have to stop this before it begins, because we saw a couple of games in the past. Gleep Gloop can really just take it and run with it.
Taking and run with it indeed. Now, Gleep Gloop going to take their own blue buff for the first time this game on this left-hand side of the map. And now they're going to rotate back to middle lane. Is a Megatron to continue soaking up the experience there wherever possible. It's 2-2. Gold lead is only 800 in favour of Gleep Gloop. Experience 1600 right now. As they continue to push and push pressure mid, you can see though that Snoopy is trying to soak as much experience as he can. Rotate through this jungle. Has this use of the Magi finished? No Blink online available just yet for him though. He'll be looking for that one to be able to close the gap a lot quicker.
Yeah, like knocking up 3. Left side, good jump. Sam Shrew, banish, no problem. Everybody just waiting for these mid camps. It's going to be 3 on 2. It's going to be 3 on 2, but 2 more in blue are rotating from the back side. We got Clumsy Death, has no idea, and he's going to be pushed out. Kiki's going to jump out, no problem.
Oh, Snoopy's in trouble now.
Picks up the mid camps. Snoopy gets Nemesis ulted, but Whirlwind, where'd he go? Snoopy gets the kill with the basic and the passive. Good 3 is going to land on Samshu or not. We've got 2 chases, one onto Samshu, one onto Clumsy and Friend. Kiki's still here. Snoopy's looking for a kill, no freeze. It's on cooldown.
Oh,
up in the air goes Noir, just barely going to miss Omega, and he's going to get a Gem shield, and he'll continue on.
The shield and the heal come out at the same time. Omega still lives on in that fight. There wasn't any follow-up available after the Noir ultimate, so that's a disengage for now. But they can try pressure mid, maybe Gold Fury.
Omega has meditation.
Well, you are playing Hell. You do need abilities as Hell to be able to play. And so meditation, technically on that god, will keep her alive. And it paid off because she was able to heal herself. Now there's an engagement with the Gold Fury coming out. The wall denies. No Whirlwind getting in on that. And now Whirlwind's going to be surrounded. Already used the dash to engage. Eats an axe to the back of the head from Barracuda. And drops down as well for great justice. 7.5 minutes in. Gold Fury goes to Gleep Gloop as well.
Early Gold Fury brought to you by Ionic, or Snoopy's, Ymir, and Omega's Hell. Able to provide so much AoE healing and damage coming out from Glacial Spikes, and basically just what Ymir does is provide enough damage to kill that early Gold Fury. That's tenement to this strat. Anytime you see an early Gold Fury come out, there's usually a Ymir or a Bastet on the team, so I do like the choice of going for that early Gold Fury.
It was a very early goal. It did pay off for them as well for now. In the jungle, speed buff due to spawn for Nemesis. Speed buff already available for Snoopy to take in his jungle right now. Whirlwind hanging around. Going to have to wait for that to come back up before he can do anything else right now. Cyclone going to rotate back to lane to deal with Aninster one more time in this Osiris lane that he's against right now, who only has Warrior Tabby online. Cyclone is still working on Devourer's Gauntlet, so very, very delayed on this build for Cyclone because he's in solo lane. Ionic looking for aggression with the rollout, but immediately you can see Kiki was waiting over the wall. The cats come out as well, looking for the aggression to Barracuda, as does a Cataclysm as well. Looks like they're going for Kiki or not to burst him down. It does do so, and those cats evaporate. And now Sam Shrew's overextended with Snoopy, charging through. There's a wall. Access denied, he says. Forcing the Valkyrie out, and when he lands, that's a dead Freya, unless some juke boots can apply.
Just frozen in a triple banish. That's exactly what she needed, but unfortunately, just too much damage coming out from the Ice Giant himself. Snoopy claims another life. 4-0-1 reads the slash line of the jungle Ymir. If there's one thing you don't want to happen, folks, it's a 4-0-1 Ymir this early.
Andy trading with Cyclone Spin one more time. Cyclone Spin forced out the ultimate again as the Lord of the Afterlife pops as well to try and bring him down in time. Doesn't find it though, but Anderson did steal away the blue buff there. Hurryman's coming in. What?
GG. GG.
What?
So this is the best of 3, folks. So, and as I said, 4-0-1 reads the slash line on Ymir.
What?
That can win the game. That can win the game. What happens is you take that, you snowball that into the middle of the game, and that will just outright win you the game. Fat Chunks recognize that, and they don't want to mess with it anymore. They just want to get into game 2, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to shade over to a brief wait screen so that we can get this game going as soon as possible, because the reason this F6 came out was to stop the momentum, Hindu Man. They just wanted to stop everything in their tracks and keep going, keep making that face. Hindu Man's going to look like a broken puppy for the entire time we're on a Be Right Back screen. Stay tuned. We'll bring you game 2.